In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to import DWG files into Layout. The sheet we're going to be working on is the Windows Details sheet. So we've just finished the sectional details tutorial, and if we go to Pages, we can now go to the next page, Window Details. So to import a DWG file, you can either use the Insert button here, or you can go to File, Insert. And we're going to supply you with a details folder. So in the details folder, you can scroll down and we have a Windows Details DWG here. So if you select Open, you can see it gives us some options. So I would recommend using model space, and then you can use what units you want to import it with. So I'm going to use millimeters and select Import. Okay, so it's imported the whole entire DWG along with the notes, the images, which is really handy. So straight away what I can do is I can change the scale of the scale drawing, because it now brings in DWGs to scale, which is really nice. So you can see in the top left corner it says 1 to 1.7, so that's not a usable scale. But if we go to here on the right, scale drawings, and select 1 to 2, and if you don't have that scale, we can make it. So if we were to go to Edit, Preferences, Scales, we can make it 1 millimeter equals 2 model millimeters. So 1 paper space millimeter equals 2 millimeters in model space. So 1 to 2. Then you click on Add Custom Scale, close, and then we go to the drop down here and select 1 to 2. Alright. So next what we can do is undo the text style. We can choose what text we want to use. And again, we can supply this font, Architext, and I'm going to select size 8. Alright, so it almost fits. There's just a little bit of modification to be done. So what we can do as well is we can double click on the scale drawing, and you can select different regions to make them groups. So you might actually need to double click one more time. So you select around it and just make sure you don't get anything else. If you do, we can unselect it. So you can see I've got pretty much all that detail. I just need to hold Shift and deselect that little portion. Right click on it, and then I can select Make Group. And then I can just pull that off to the side for the moment. Then we can drag a box around this one. Right click, Make Group. Okay, then we can drag around that one, which is just an image. Right click, Make Group. And then the last one can be made a group as well. Select, right click, Make Group. Okay, so next what you could do is, if we go back to a previous page, we have a note that we can copy. So Control C, or right click on the note and copy, and go next. Then if we double click on the scale drawing and double click again, we can now enter into the next group, double click again, and see how everything gets faded out. And then if we press H on our keyboard, we can hide everything away apart from that one detail. So to do the H trick, you can go up to Edit, Preferences, and under Shortcuts, if you were to search Hide Rest of Document, I assigned H to hide rest of document. So I typed H and then clicked on the plus button. So whenever I edit a group in Layout and press H, everything else hides away and disappears. So it's really quite helpful. So I'm now going to right click and paste my note. Okay, and then again we can just label the note. Okay, that's on sheet number 3. And actually, it's not to scale. So it's not to scale. So it's just an image with some information on it. So we can copy that. Okay, so then we can adjust that as we please. So maybe we'll get that one on there first. If we go H, we can place that there. And then maybe just squeeze it into the corner. So it's really quite useful being able to import a DWG and use it. And you can change the scale some more if it doesn't fit. You just click out of it, click once onto the scale drawing, and then you just go to scale drawing and choose whatever scale you need. So I'm just going to do a little bit of rearranging and then just show you the end result. And then we'll now know how to import DWGs. Okay, so we've edited the DWG. You can see now when I click on it, it's still a scale drawing. Double click on it again, and I've got groups within groups. And if I double click on it one more time, I have also sometimes subgroups. Let's say you want to change a few lines in your drawing. So we could double click on the drawing. You could zoom in. And you could pre-select the lines that you want to change because these might be dashed lines. So you might need to zoom in quite close at times. Okay, and probably there. Okay, so you've selected the lines you want to change. Then over here we can choose dashed, and then we can set the spacing to maybe 0.5 so that you can really start to make your DWG look really good. So if we wanted to create our own scrapbook of this, we could, for example, start a new drawing. And if I go to My Templates, I could use the How to Draw Construction drawings. And then I could basically delete all the pages I don't need until I get to window details, and then I could delete the other ones. Okay, so I only want the window details. Then I could go back to this sheet, basically select my scale drawing, right click and paste it because I know it fits perfectly. Then what I can do is go to File, Save as a Scrapbook, into the last place that I saved, which is my application data roaming. Then I can call it Window Details. Make sure caps lock's on, Window Details, and then Save. And that's now saved it to the correct location. Then if I go to my scrapbook, it's going to show the footing details, but then I could go and find my window details and just simply click on that and bring in the whole entire sheet of details. And that would be a scale, 1 to 2 scale, and then you could continue drawing on those. So the idea is to only have to do it once, and if they're the same details that get used over and over again, you can then save them as your own details.